and so this was the first poem I wrote. And it was kind of about that process. So thank you for staying. Tip your baristas. Let's do this. I've been repugnant, my soul pungent. My character caused them to turn their noses up at me. Up until this point, the prose and poetry, it was a shield for me, a source of symmetry for the nonsense of the world, the discontent of life, and the chaos that plagues the conscious. But just as the waters of the river may eventually lead to a fall, I too feel a shift in my orientation. You see, for me, this can no longer be a tool of extroverted defensive nature, for that would be a disservice to the voice of the Creator echoing through me, reverberating through my vertebrae and resounding in my mind like the sound of guns locked and loaded in the minds of the shell-shocked, or like the force of the ocean and legs of those returned to the dock, or like the diction of dictatorship from the mass of the mob, or the hip of the cop, or the mouth of the politician put in place by popular demand. I'm trying to say, there's something in me, a proverbial mustard seed inscribed with the last words of creation and the first of revelation, the beginning of my age and the next, the end of my being and that of my mother and father. Now this is not cannon fodder or superstition from your local church or alma mater. No, this is superposition. This sleepwalking, mute talking, immortal made martyr, miscarriage decades in the making is still going strong. This is the grave made pit stop, the past made prophecy. The utility of humility maximized by my brazen belly aching. I'm like a brass bull, I'm grazing over a fire with the bodies of martyrs inside me. I am like an iron maiden that's caving in with the faces of children behind me. I'm like my last words to my first love, or this imperial presence I can't understand for the life of me. I am telling you, there is something I desperately need to get out of me, and it's sparse but it's potent, like the river forces trickling through the forest, like the voices of the pious genuinely trying to guide us. There is something in me between Jimi Hendrix and Haile Selassie, between Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey, between Fannie Lou Hamer and Yeshua in the manger, between Judas the Apostle and violent revolution across the Congo, between Satan saturated with love for his creator and Jesus asking why he's been forsaken and trapped in a man's nature. I am something like John the Baptist. In my dreams I got blood-caked dreadlocks and the musk of an ox, reincarnated in the incorporated mosque of Malcolm returned from the Hajj. And I could be killed at this very moment. I could be killed at this very moment. It wouldn't be but a pause in the redemption of the lost, or the sacrifice on the cross. You can find my soul sitting between Rumi and Pac, reciting poetry to the beat of my heart until it stops and lies as still in my chest as the progress of blacks in the West. But you know, even when racism was at its best, they always knew we could find a beat or rhythm. Life in prison, facing schisms from society, we opted for self-determination is our means for equity, and I am the legacy of that revolution unfulfilled. I was given back to this world in my mortal appeal, so my petition to the people under the shade of the hood of the state and the shield is that we cannot live this way, extroverted in our defense and reluctant to introspect. Let us show honor not to creed or camp or clan, but to virtue and the demands of a higher service, for I am a servant to the science of the prophets and the mathematics of the systematic upheaval of evil, and I know that makes me ugly to some people, repugnant even. My own mother looks at me as if I've been possessed by a demon or persuaded by a heathen. I know I'm not the strongest man breathing, but I'm bleeding for peace, to get something out of me that can make us complete. Cause I'm an aimless, rambling, gambling ancient. I got a rumbling, tumbling cadence, and I'm racking my mind just to find a rhyme or a bit of anguish. I'm something worth sharing, mind of a malcontent, malicious mason. I'm gently pacing. Pollution is in my veins, and I entertain illusions because I know the truth is within the frame. I just gotta find it, a diamond off in the fray, a gem in the rough, roughneck renegade with a pump, sell off assortment of weapons hidden under my bunk, right next to every secret I locked up within my trunk. And you might find the key in the palm lines of a burning monk, assimilating my tail is encrypted in tongues of fire, robbing the temple priest for the papa when kingdom come. The judge will be drawn upon in proportion to what I've done. You can never confine me, I've confided all that I've done to my lovers. I heard the Ozzy Brothers sample draped over some drums. Ever since I've been loving myself, dispensed with the funds. Ever since I've been loving myself, dispensed with the funds. A penny for every thought I let waste over my tongue. Thrown in a sock, shoe or a rock, you could never shake me, break me, discriminate, eliminate, or recreate me. I'm the legacy of Garvey and Newton. looting, so who's shooting? I hope your Uzi weighs a ton of your aim is sharp as O'Shea's, cause I ain't going gentle till I done my part. Parallel my plot with the mind of God. Our paths never cross. He made my soul from the same blood, same earth that Judas hung himself in. We just move in divine union. I parlay with the cross, witness the cost of a life sacrifice for my people. My heated and blood smoked, beaten and blood soaked, cheated and damn near choked to death people. I love you.